5 years, the craters are just going to get bigger. Do you put it all together into one article now, or put in two articles, one for the roofs and the windows, another one for things like the parking lots? You could. The question is, if you combine them all, do we stand the possibility that the whole thing gets shut down, just as if we joined with the town? Or do you separate them and hope that they both pass? I'm looking for direction, and that's why I said I didn't want to put a number to it right now, because part of this discussion is how far out, and I was going to bring this up at the Capital Improvement Committee, how far out do we put parking lots till we say, you know, they're so horrible? Maybe 4 years out is too long. Maybe we rearrange when we would ask for these funds in the 10-year plan and say, no, 4 years is too long. Maybe we do it in 2 years. Or maybe people decide 2 years is too soon after you just went out for an article for the roofs and the windows. I honestly would say, if you want to separate them, that'd be fine with me, and have two articles, or just have the one for the roofs and the windows and leave it at that, and then maybe worry about what we do with the other capital issues or concerns at the spring town meeting.
I mean, I think when you take a look, and we talked about this last year with the technology, if you go and you bond, you know, improvements to roofs and parking lots, I think it's more palatable, and it's a little smarter to spread that out over a long period of time. But when we look at classroom computers and smart boards and such, because technology turns over so quickly, you know, that's another approach to take a look at, is if you separate them into a couple different, you have a shorter term debt exclusion and a longer term debt exclusion, so that you're not paying that interest long after you've gotten rid of the assets.
Right.
So.
Mr. Sullivan?
I'd like to make a motion, if that's appropriate.
Please do.
I'd like to make the motion that we authorize Dr. Colley to prepare a warrant article with the assistance and guidance of the Capital Improvement Bonding Committee and the Town Administrator, appropriate for the school department to ask for bonding authority for funds eligible under the Green
Projects
Initiative.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Wait a minute. You want to repeat some of that, please? I have to ask, to authorize Dr. Colley to prepare a warrant article with the assistance and guidance of the Capital Improvement Bonding Committee.
And the Town Administrator.
And the Town Administrator.
Okay.
For an appropriate amount.
Okay.
To meet the needs as identified under the Green Initiative project.
Okay.
Still, sorry.
Sure.
Michelle seconded
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm. Got that.
Is that?
I got it. We're good.
Does that contain what you need to move forward?
Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay. Is there any discussion, Mr. Harrenstein?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I want to make a motion to give him authorization to go and generate draft warrant articles for some of these other projects. Maybe taking a look at some of our technology needs and some of the subsequent pieces to take a look and get feedback from Capital Improvement Committee, Town Administrator, and school committee members to make a decision on whether to go forward with two or more at the special town meeting, because I think if you do this, you want to do it now. You don't want to do one now and do one in April. You go to 2.
No, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Dr. Colley.
The only concern that I have with making a motion of that sort is we could do that. You're within the window of meeting with the capital committee. You're within the window of getting it to the town. I believe the 23rd is the deadline for the warrant articles, but we do not have a scheduled school committee meeting between now and the 23rd. So if you want me to bring it back to the school committee for input, it would have to be sending it out individually over email. Hey, what do you think of this? And kind of straw poll. And I don't think that's appropriate. If you want to have a quick meeting.
Is there a second?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think he made the motion. I think he said he wanted to make a motion.
He's not a voting member anyway.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll just make the motion to authorize Dr. Colley to generate a second debt or capital improvement request that would go before the town at special town meeting on December 7th to cover non-green projects.
Would you like to identify which?
Well, I would recommend that we go after the technology.
Can we just get a second on that, and then we can discuss it?
Can I make a request for a friendly amendment before the second?
Sure.
A request that we make an amendment that authorization be for the Springtown meeting. I believe, well, that's my request.
No, I don't want to amend it to wait till the spring. I don't want to go now.
Okay, let's get a second, and we can discuss it.
Which one are we seconding? The first one? The
The-
7th? The December 7th?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Tim's, right? For a second?
Mhm.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Discussion?
Yes.
Just make mention that I believe that there's been due diligence regarding the scope of the work, the scope of the needs, and the filing of information with the school building authority to support going forward with the, is it December 7th town meeting? And we have a tight schedule, but I believe that we've put in, and Dr. Colley in particular has put in quite a bit of effort under the program that's been outlined. I think we should meet